All right, everybody. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Crawford County, Illinois Ghost Hunter Society live talk show. This is episode number 15. And I apologize tonight for the lighting, guys. I am in a dimly lit room, so if you can barely see me, I apologize out there. So you just have to bear with it tonight. But it's currently August the 30th, 2020, and we're going to start this talk show off and, tell you guys about some of the things that happened over the weekend with our paranormal investigations. So definitely stay tuned, guys, and listen to the show because it's going to be a pretty interesting one. But first off, I'd like to welcome all our new viewers again to our Crawford County, Illinois Ghost Hunter Society live talk show, episode number 15. And if you've never watched our show before, we do dual broadcast to YouTube. So if you're on YouTube watching, definitely switch over to our Facebook page. If you want to get any of your questions answered, we do monitor Facebook, but not YouTube. So, but you can check our website out at crawfordcountyghosthunters.org. If you want to get on there and look at our website, we have an email address. It's illinoishauntings@gmail.com. If you want to send us any type of question regarding any type of paranormal activity that you or your family or anybody may be experiencing, definitely send us an email. We'll try to answer the emails as quick as possible, or send a message to our Facebook page. That may be the quickest. We've also got a phone number on our Facebook page you can reach us at. If you do have any questions regarding, any type of paranormal occurrence that you may be experiencing, we'll investigate about anywhere. So definitely get a hold of us, guys. Our YouTube is YouTube / Crawford County Ghost Hunters. If you want to check that out, we got it scrolling on the bottom there. And we have our Instagram page also. If you have not checked it out, it is Instagram / Crawford County Ghost Hunters. Go follow us on Instagram. We don't post a lot on there. Haven't had time because I do everything here. Our website, our Facebook page, the YouTube channel, everything. So I get behind on posting a lot of stuff to our YouTube or our Instagram. So I apologize, guys. We've got a lot of pictures I'm going to start posting up on there exclusively. So definitely follow us on Instagram. And again, if you're just tuning in, I apologize for the bad lighting. I am in a different location tonight, and the lighting is horrible. So, but the music tonight before the show was by Midnight Syndicate. They give us permission to use their music, so definitely check that out. They've got a lot of good creepy sounding horror style music. If you like that type of stuff, you can check their website out at midnightsyndicate.com. You can also find their music on Spotify and YouTube, so check that out, guys. Again, I'm monitoring going to monitor the comments and everything through our Facebook page. So if you guys have any questions or comments throughout the evening, throughout the show, definitely throw them out there. I am solo tonight. Dickerson's gone again. I don't have a co-host with me tonight, and I didn't get a guest on for tonight. So we're basically going to just talk about what happened this weekend. So if any of you guys, were following our page, you knew probably we were out investigating with Dale Kazmarek and his team again, the Ghost Research Society, which is always a blast. We get together. They come down. Dale comes down our way about once a year and does a little investigation. He comes down here. We do investigations all over the south part of Illinois because he's from up by the Chicagoland area, the Oak Lawn area. So and we went there. Also, so we kind of go back and forth, but we went up there and visited with Dale here a while back. We investigated Bachelor's Grove and Resurrection Cemetery. We investigated the story of Resurrection Mary, visited the grave site of Al Capone, and that was some pretty cool stuff. If you guys missed that back, I'm not sure when that even was. It was a long time ago. We've done too many investigations since then, but you can go back in our video history and check out those videos. But anyway, Dale came down with his team, Mikey and Kelly, and we went on some paranormal investigations all throughout the weekend. We started Friday afternoon at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we left from the Baymont Hotel. We had a little meet and greet there. We advertised. We kind of got that out late, so I apologize about the meet and greet. But we'll probably be having another one here soon. So definitely stay tuned and watch our Facebook page. We will definitely try to have some type of meet and greet again with us and with Dale and his team if he comes back down this way. So looking at some of your comments right now, looks like we got a full house again tonight. I appreciate that, guys. It's like we got Michael Staffy out there. We got Karen Catt, Jen Newland, Doy, all of our regular listeners and watchers. We appreciate you guys. Luke Massey, Richard Smith, Jennifer Baker. Hope you're doing good, Jennifer. Tell Herb I said hi if that's possible. But yeah, we got a full house out there tonight, guys. But we're going to talk about, what happened to us this weekend and the behind the scenes stuff you guys didn't get to see. We, unfortunately, a lot of the locations that we went to investigate with Dale and the Ghost Research Society this weekend were remote locations where we couldn't do live feeds, or our big shebang we ended with last night. We could not go live there due to circumstances. Last time we went live from there, it went viral, and we were asked not to go live from there anymore just to avoid other people going to the area, because it is a restricted access area that we got permission we strictly got permission to go into this area, and you cannot go there without permission. So we didn't want to broadcast live so other people don't come and vandalize the place or, do stupid things there like people do. And that's why we don't go live at a lot of locations, guys, too, is like, for one, I mean, we have people follow us, like fans and everything. Like if we announce the live location, sometimes like people will come out there, unfortunately, and mess with our investigations, which we love meeting fans. We love meeting you guys. But if we tell the location, please don't come there unless we invite you, because, we're trying to investigate and do a live feed too. But that's why we want to start having these little, maybe meet and greets if anybody does want to come talk with us, about our investigations, or about, maybe a place you guys think is haunted that you want us to investigate. But yeah, we went live at one location, and I will go ahead and tell where we were at that spot where we went live, just due to we are not there anymore, because we didn't want anybody showing up. But one of the locations we investigated that we did go live at was King Cemetery. And King Cemetery is located over by Dietrich, Illinois. And that's the location you guys seen us go live from, in the wooded area. And they've had a lot of reports of paranormal activity. If you follow any of the paranormal sites, there's several paranormal sites that list King Cemetery as an active haunted location where people will report all types of paranormal activity. I believe people have seen apparitions of a lady in a black dress in there. They've seen lights. They've heard noises, disembodied voices, screams. So that's probably the third time I've investigated King Cemetery. On the first occasion, the first time I ever went to King Cemetery, there was a snake skin like draped over the tombstone. And we went there at night, we get back there and there's this huge snake skin draped over it. It was creepy as heck, guys. But it's a really cool, really old cemetery, and it needs to be respected. That's why we don't want a lot of people knowing where some of these locations are at. Definitely don't go there, though, without permission and go back there and trespass, because, we don't want people breaking stones and kids going back there vandalizing things. That's why we don't reveal a lot of the places we go to. Also, I just want to address an issue that took place on that live feed during our live investigation there at that cemetery. I don't know what happened, really. We were kind of looking at the comments and everything, and there was a little fight take place in on our live feed, between you guys, between the fans, arguing out there. I don't really know what happened. All I know is one lady figured out or made a suggestion that we should go ghost hunt a place that night. And I am the one that said she hit the nail on the head about where we were going. We were going to keep the place, secret. We didn't want to tell anybody where we were going Saturday night, as in last night. And one of the viewers actually named the place we were going to, which I thought was really ironic and weird. She goes, "You guys should go check this place out." I'm not going to mention it on this. So if you were not on that live feed and you were not paying attention to that, I'm still not going to tell you where we were at last night. But we had, because we had permission from the sheriff's department. A deputy was supposed to meet us out there. He had some things go on. He told us we could go ahead and go out there. So we went and investigated and had a pretty good investigation last night. But to address the issue about the fight on the live feed between you guys, try not to do that on our live feed, guys, please. I know, some of you may get in, arguments and discussions and have different opinions. And the lady who said where we were going didn't really do anything wrong, because I admitted that, yes, that's where we were going to go. So don't worry about it. Don't bash anybody, please, on our live feeds. But we were watching one particular individual that was getting a little out of hand, and if she does it again, we'll probably block her. So just keep that in mind, guys. Try to keep it peaceful in our comment section on our live feeds. We'd appreciate it. So, but anyway, going back to the investigation. We got some pretty good activity at that location, but I'm going to kind of start out and tell you guys where we went, during this weekend, and what we did experience, what we did find. And we even had an event take place at our last stop that one of my team members doesn't really want to talk about, so I'm going to keep it private, but I do want you to know something weird happened last night. If I can get her to talk about it sometime, maybe we will. But we started out Friday afternoon. We took off and we went south of Robinson, basically. And we went to the Port Jackson Cemetery, and we couldn't get real good live feed signal from Port Jackson. But we did take a few pictures from there. This is a group shot we took from Port Jackson over there. So we did, we sat there, we investigated that location. I think we picked up a few weird things, on the I believe Dale was running the obelisk. We done a lot of investigations over the weekend, so I'm trying not to get all these confused. But we ended up doing 11 investigations over the weekend at different locations. So we were traveling around all these spots. So, and you guys looking at the screen, you're right. Would actually be left in the photograph would be myself, Jason Snyder. And then we have Mikey kind of bending down underneath the sign there. And then we got, which is one of Dale Kazmarik's team members from the Ghost Research Society. Then we have Kelly. She's kind of bent down underneath between the K and the S there. And she's one of Dale Kazmarik's team members also from the Chicagoland area. Really nice lady. We really enjoy having her down. And then Ed Reese is one of my team members. He is, he's the one with the green thing on his shirt that says "Got Dog Man," which was a pretty cool shirt. I want to get one of those. But then Jason Dickerson on the other side of him in his vest. And then we have Dale Kazmarik kind of hiding, peeking over Dickerson there in the, your left to be the far right of the actual picture. So that's who we had out there. We took that shot from the top of Dickerson's van with a remote control, if you're wondering how we took that picture, because there was nobody else there other than the people in the photograph. So that was a fun time, guys. But we did, we went all throughout, the day. This picture was taken down at, I believe that was South Bend Cemetery, south of Oblong, another location we visited over the weekend. We did get some weird, like intelligent communication there also. We got some strange stuff in a lot of places we went this weekend as far as like intelligent communication over the Phasma box, over the Ghost box, and everything. So I'm reading your comments real quick, guys. Jason Goebel says you need to go to Partlow Cemetery near Casey. A mower I know left because of the witch's orb there. I'll go when you guys want to go. I believe we went there, Jason. Sorry, I'm kind of getting off track here, guys. But Jason Goebel, I believe, are you talking about the Partlow Cemetery near what's known as Hogtown? If so, give me a comment and say, yes, that's the right one. If so, yeah, we've been there several times. There's a gravestone in the middle of the cemetery that's turned and rotated a different direction, which they call the witch's grave. So if that's what you're referring to, please let me know. Just checking comments out there. But just going to pop some more shots up from this weekend's investigation with Dale Kazmarek and his team. We got Dale there, myself, and Amanda and Ed in the background. Amanda in the blue shirt. She's one of our new team members too. I think she's going to do really well. She seems extremely excited. We've got a few new team members, guys, so I'll be introducing you to them, in our live feed slowly. And maybe even do like a meet the team type thing. So you guys maybe get all of our team members together at some point so you guys can kind of meet the team and do maybe a bio. We may even do that for one of our shows again, since we got so many new members. Just kind of do a live talk show and, have as many of my team members on here as we can. And you guys can meet them, live online and ask questions. If you guys think that'd be cool, give me a thumbs up. If you want to do kind of a meet the team thing, I'll try to get as many of my team members on our talk show as I can. And you guys can just ask your questions away. Looks like we got John Miller out there, South Bend's where my grandparents are buried, he said. Yeah, there's South Bend Cemetery, south of Oblong is a really unique place. I mean, people have reported Native Americans on horseback in there is why we originally started investigating it. And there's documentation through some of the burial records and stuff that they started to bury some people in the back part of South Bend Cemetery. And they dug into Native American graves. And that's why they can't dig in a particular area back there. So it's kind of a really cool place. And like I say, though, just respect the areas, guys. If you do visit any of these locations we go to, that's my main thing. The places we talk about, please be respectful. If you go and visit the location you see us go to on live feeds and everything. And we're very respectful of the places while we're there. We respect people's loved ones, and that's why we go to a lot of these places too. We try to communicate to see if a particular person or individual comes through any of our devices. And we've contacted people before and say, hey, we think we just communicated with your loved one. Some people believe it, some people don't. It's just that's the way it is. But some people are just thrilled to death, and it helps them emotionally knowing that, we made contact with somebody that passed away, that was connected with them. So hey, it's kind of cool. I mean, some of the work we do is really I guess rewarding for us when that happens, when we make contact with somebody or we get a voice that they recognize, which has happened in the past. I did an EVP session at a cemetery one time years ago, guys, where I picked up a female voice talking, and I played the recording, I believe, on our website. This is way before talk shows and all this internet hype. I think I played it on our website or something, and an individual emailed me and contacted me. I didn't even tell her where we was at. And she told me, she goes, that's my mom. And I said, really? And I said, so I started questioning her, and like, oh my gosh, how did she recognize that voice so well? And she told me what cemetery I was in and where I was at when I got that EVP, which was really cool because like she actually verified that I picked up a voice from her mom that had passed away. And she was crying. I mean, she was talking to me on the phone, just bawling, saying, thank you. It was really, really neat because it was just verification of what we do, and that, these ghosts and spirits that we make connections with are real. And it validates a lot of the stuff we try to validate and prove to people that, this stuff is going on. But I mean, I still like to take a scientific approach and debunk everything. I'm the most skeptical person out there, and I debunk a lot of our own evidence, which makes some, it makes me mad sometimes because I'll get something, I'll think, oh, that's really cool. And I'll end up debunking it 10 minutes later, So we keep that thin line of trying to be skeptical and debunk everything. Yet we do know there's strange things that occur out there through EVP and ITC, which is instrumental transcommunication. I mean, we're communicating with something or someone, whether it be a ghost or spirit, I don't know. But I mean, people have identified voices. So that's what makes it completely legit and makes me keep doing this. I mean, because we get a lot of cool stuff. Let's see who else we got on here. See any question. But yeah, we did a lot of investigations out there this weekend. I'm going to pop some more pics up. There's another shot from some of our investigations we've done. Again, we got Dale Kazmarek there, myself. We got Mikey over on the left side of the picture, Amanda in the background. And we tried to do a lot of just, communication with the Dale had his Ovilus. We had a Phasma box. We had 2 or 3 different ghost boxes with us. We had the PSB7 and the PSB11. I also had my Sangean radio ghost box that we were using all throughout the weekend, just trying to make contact with something. So I'm just going to pop some more up here, I believe. But yeah, that's Mikey in the background and myself. That was taken in South Bend Cemetery too. So, we were all over the place though this weekend. Another location we investigated was an abandoned bridge that basically goes across the Ambraw River. And for years, people have reported activity at the location I'm getting ready to talk about. I'm not going to tell where this location's at, but because it's very dangerous, I don't really want people going there because there's no bottom to this bridge. But here's like a photograph of the bridge we investigated during the daytime hours. It's really pretty. It's rocky underneath. There's kind of a rock overhang. That's where people fishing have heard screams and reports of strange things while they were down here by the river fishing. So, this is another location we investigated. Also, I'm seeing Dale's comment now. Dale Kazmarek said the Paratech. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff on the Paratech. And Dale, if you can hear me out there, may actually, when I start talking about, I've got a video clip too that we took. You know what I'm talking about, Dale. So I may have you call in here in a minute when I start showing that video clip. If you're available, you can call in the call-in line and we'll talk about that a little, Dale, if you're out there. But the bridge is really cool. We went to. But yeah, I'm going to have, I don't know if Dale can call in or not, if he's listening out there, but we investigated 11 different locations. I'm just going to tell you guys until maybe he calls me here if he's available. He may not even be available, so we'll see what happens here. Sorry guys, checking your comments. So I think he said okay. So but we had a lot of cool stuff happen, especially with the Paratech. That Paratech app just continues to amaze us with intelligent communication, intelligent responses from the places that we investigate. We'll say, hey, can you give us a name? And it will give us a name. One of the locations we investigated also over the weekend was Charlottesville Cemetery and the Charlottesville Hanging Tree. And if you guys don't know the story about that, a guy by the name of Billy Ray murdered a guy by the name of Mason Golf. And Billy Ray was rumored to be a horse thief in the area, down by the Chansey area. He would steal horses at night. And in the historical documents, it said there's a cave that he built a little place out in front of. And he was taking these horses and hiding out there. So all the neighbors' horses were coming up missing. Well, finally, one of them noticed that was his horse there. And they accused Billy Ray of stealing these horses. He had previously murdered or for some odd reason killed a Mason Golf. And the historical documents aren't real specific on whether it was self-defense at the time or whether he just flat out murdered this guy. Maybe he killed him in the process of stealing his horse. I don't know. But we went to that location. There's a tree that they hung Billy Ray from, and it's called the Charlottesville Hanging Tree. So they hung, him from this tree, and there's rumors that multiple people were hung from this tree, and that's why, they call it the Hanging Tree down there by Chansey. There's only documentation of Billy Ray that I can find. But they took Billy Ray and they buried him outside of the Charlottesville Cemetery. And according to all the documents I can find, he was buried outside the fence on one side. And I had a lady that's a historical researcher in that area told me she had seen his gravesite at one point in the woods, beside Charlottesville. I've never been able to locate it, but she claims she has seen it. But the ironic thing is Mason Golf is buried in Charlottesville Cemetery too, and that's the guy Billy Ray hung. So, are there ghosts? Are there ghosts still fighting in the afterlife? Is there activity because they're both buried in the same area? He killed him and then they hung him and buried him in the same place. So it's kind of a cool story, and it's a forgotten story that people don't know about this area, about Charlottesville Cemetery and the hanging tree down there. And I recently took a couple of our fans down there also and showed them that location. I took Jen Newland and Doit down there. And we did a little investigation there and got some cool stuff too, because, I like to take the fans out too. If we got fans that are on here every night, every day, and they keep saying, hey, I want to go out. Yeah, we'll take you guys out. Just get a hold of us. We're also doing haunted tours and stuff this October. If you guys want to meet us and go on our haunted tours, which I've got a big announcement for here after a while. So I've got a big, haunted tour announcement to make later on in the show. So definitely hang in there, guys, and you don't want to miss that because it's going to be really cool. Let me see here. Just checking out your comments here. But anyway, we did the Charlottesville hanging tree, and then we ended up at after that, we left. Now we're getting back into Saturday, which was yesterday morning. We left, and we left earlier in the afternoon. We headed west, and we investigated King Cemetery, which I already spoke about. But then we ended up at a location which we've investigated before, and it completely went viral when we did our live feed there. So we decided not to go live due to, just a lot of people seeing it last time. And we had some family members come out there that wanted us to help, communicate with their loved ones on our last live feed there. But we investigated a location called Casbar Ramsey Cemetery. It's in Effingham County, over by Effingham, Illinois. So that's where we were at before we went to our main location last night, which I'm not going to mention the name of. But this is where the weird stuff happened, at Casbar and Ramsey in Effingham yesterday. So we were out there, and I don't know if Dale's going to call in or not, but we had some stuff go on at that cemetery, which we have a couple times now. So I'm saying, that place has probably got some legit activity going on. A lot of these places are just urban legends. Kids pull up there at night. They smoke and drink, and they see things that aren't there. And then somebody says, oh, I saw this guy with red glowing eyes, and it gets around and the place is haunted. That's how a lot of these places work. A lot of these urban legends work that way. But Casbar / Ramsey Cemetery in Effingham, I believe, does have a little bit of activity. I think it's been vandalized in the past too, which is horrible. And unfortunately, kids go in there and do all this stuff. And that's why we try not to, broadcast a lot of the places. But please don't go there again unless you got permission. But we were sitting there investigating, and Dale Kazmarek, from the Ghost Research Society, he had, I believe he may have been doing the Ovilus. I don't know if he was using the Ovilus or what, but he had a little speaker set up. I have to ask Dale which he was using at the time, because I was over in a different part of the cemetery. But his speaker is about this long, if you can figure out how long that is by this live feed. I'd say about 6-7 inches long, his little speaker he was using. And he had it set up on a tombstone. He was sitting there asking some questions, and a few things that came through. Okay, here's Dale calling me now, so we'll get him on the line. See if we can get Dale on here real quick, guys. All right, Dale, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Awesome. So, all right, I've got you on the line here, Dale. I just kind of want to talk about that incident at Casbar and Ramsey Cemetery in Effingham.
Okay.
What were you using at the time? Was that were you using the Ovilus, or were you on the Phasma box when that happened?
No, I was using the Phasma box. I was near a particular grave where you guys had gotten some. He had told me he had gotten some responses and some communications last time you guys were there. So I decided to set that one marker had kind of like a base around it where I was able to set the device up there, as well as my digital recorder and also the external speaker, which makes it a little bit louder and makes it easier to hear the responses from the Phasma box. Okay. And I was basically just asking questions, and we were getting some interesting responses. Again, this was probably one of the first times this whole weekend that the Phasma box was actually answering or at least had some useful responses. Sometimes it was just it just didn't say anything except gibberish, pretty much.
Right.
But it just seemed like all of a sudden, I'm trying to remember what question I asked now. I think maybe you can help me out on that. But I asked a question, and right after I asked the question, the speaker that was balanced on the base of the marker actually fell off. And it was kind of interesting because when I asked the question, I didn't get a response. So it wasn't like something had come through the speaker and vibrated the speaker and caused the speaker to fall off. Some people said that, I know Mikey was actually the one that was recording that. And when other people, including yourself, I think had looked at the video later, you said that you know that there may have been a slight movement of the speaker just before it fell.
Right.
And that could be so many different things. I mean, I don't think it was caused first of all by vibration because nothing was coming through at the time. I kind of like trying to play like paranormal here for a second. That it could have actually been something touching the speaker at that point, trying to make it fall and trying to create enough momentum for that thing to fall. It wasn't a windy night. It wasn't. I was nowhere near the speaker wire because it was actually wrapped up around the back of the Phasma box and also the tablet, I should say, and then also wrapped around the speaker. So it wasn't like dangling. Pretty much, it was kind of like wrapped up, and then it wasn't. The surface wasn't entirely flat, obviously, but I can't see a real logical explanation of why that thing fell over, at least at this point. I haven't had a chance to actually review the video myself yet, because I'll wait for Mikey to send me the raw footage or come over, and I'll be able to have the actual footage here where I can look at it more carefully.
Okay. We took a video of the video of that evidence that I'm actually going to play tonight on the show. And I was messing with it while we were driving. I slowed it way down, and I'm on the fence about whether it's paranormal or whether it wasn't. But I am going to show the video to the viewers tonight. Kind of let them make their own decision on what they think. My personal opinion, I slowed it way down, which I don't have the slowed down version that I'm going to show you guys tonight. But I slowed it down to the point where it looks like it moves just a little and then it falls, but it is so fast. That's what gets me. It's not like it slides down and falls. It just boom. It's just gone. It's just instantly gone off this tombstone. But when I slowed it down, you can see it maybe get hit a little or move a little, and then just boom, it's just gone. It's almost like it doesn't slide. It's almost like it was picked up and thrown. In my opinion, it's really weird. I don't want to say it's paranormal just because I like to debunk everything, but there's a force called gravity. So I don't know, but and the other thing, it was laying on a part of the tombstone that wasn't completely flat. It was an angled part of the tombstone, so that kind of is bad too in my book. But it's weird, man. I'm looking at it still. I'm still watching it, but it could be paranormal. It actually could be, so I'm gonna let the viewers kind of look at it and let them decide. And I'm kind of leaving it up in the air as it could be paranormal. it may not be paranormal type of thing, because it's one of those things we can argue about it all day type of thing.
Yeah, I'm the kind of person that, as you know, if you don't know me, basically a lot of people know me that I don't necessarily jump to the paranormal explanation anyway myself.
Yeah.
I like to, kind of rule out any possible natural explanation along the way first, before I jump in with both feet, because it just makes it makes me a better researcher. For anybody, for that matter, that's in the field, it makes you a better researcher. That if you always say that everything that you come across is paranormal, on face value or during the first looking or second looking or something, it doesn't make you. It makes you almost like you're too gullible, and
right.
that you want to believe, which I do. But I mean, to the point where you're putting that in front of possibly rational, logical explanations. So. At this point right now, I won't make a definitive explanation or possible explanation, if I can even come up with one,
sure.
Until I actually have a chance to view the video, here on my desktop here, and a bigger screen, and be able to maybe enhance the video a little bit, look into it, and just play with all different settings out there and see what I can come up with.
Right. Okay, yeah, I mean that's a good deal, because a lot of people jump into it and just say, "Oh, it's paranormal," and it's like I like people that try to debunk things and look at it before we say, "Hey, this is something strange that we can't explain." But I'm going to throw that video up there real quick, Dale, so they can watch it. And again, guys, I apologize. I'm in a bad lighting area tonight. If you can barely see me, I've got some really bad lighting going on. I had to go live from this particular location where I'm at, but. And I was late because my computer started updating, all kinds of problems started happening. But anyway, I'm going to throw this video up. It should be, fairly clear. You're going to be looking at a smaller screen, because what you guys are looking at is Allison Turner, one of my team members. She videoed the video of that happening. So you're looking at a video of a video. So that's why it looks kind of weird. But it still shows, if you guys look real close, just watch. I'll play this a couple times. Just watch, and you will see the little speaker that Dale was using for the Phasma box. Like he mentioned, there was no sound coming through the speaker at the time this flew off either, which, shows that it wasn't a real strong vibration from the speaker coming through, like maybe a voice or something, or a sound from the Phasma box causing the speaker to vibrate and throw it off there, because there was no sound coming through the time it happens. Which leans a little more toward the paranormal side, if you want to look at it that way. But we're going to play this and see what you guys think about it. I'm going to keep you.
Knocked it out? Let me review that.
Okay, I'm going to play that one more time for them out there so they can watch it, because it happens really quick. So I'm gonna play that again for you guys.
Knocked it out? Let me review that.
All right, so yeah, guys, that's the video there. So I'll let you guys kind of decide what you guys think happened there. It just flies off there. I mean, and it's fast. Like I say, I slowed it down, and when I slowed it down, I literally had to slow it down. I use a program, and I had to slow that down to the slowest feature it had to even start to see any type of little movement in there before that thing flew off. But there's just a slight touch, like something touched it before it flies off there. It didn't slide; it just shoots off there. So kind of weird. But yeah, I mean, what do you guys think out there? All the viewers out there, just give me your opinions and let me know what you guys think, about that. Everybody's saying that it moved quick. Jen Newland saying, was there any high wind? Nope, there was no wind at all. Yeah, no wind, no rain, nothing. So you want to comment any more on that, Dale?
Well, I will say a couple things on it. I mean, basically, as you mentioned, the base was not, totally level. I mean, it was kind of on the edges. It was kind of like it's kind of hard to explain, but kind of like there was a center portion that was a little bit higher. But when I put my device up there initially, I mean, it didn't move at all. I mean, I tried to get it as far back as I possibly could on the actual marker. It actually looks in that video, and again, it's kind of a small video. I'll have to look at it again when I get the actual video for Mike. But it looks to me like it's at least when I had put it up there initially, I remember it being very, pretty darn steady. Obviously, there could have been other factors that caused it to move, but the video that everyone is seeing there, it might look or appear that it's like on the edge, like it's almost teetering. It's actually really not. I mean, there's actually the base of the marker actually kind of comes around in a 90-degree angle.
Yeah, it's kind of supporting it. Yeah,
as well as to the right of me. So I was like right on the edge. If I would have put it, I think, towards the one side or the other, I think it would have probably, maybe not been as stable, perhaps. And again, I tried that. I tried putting it up there, like I said initially, and it didn't seem like it was moving, even when there was a lot of loud sound coming through there, because we had some pretty intense sounds and voices, and some pretty loud ones, because I had it cranked up a little bit because I wanted other people to hear nearby. So that vibration, it is a pretty dynamic little speaker system there, which has quite a bit of bass to it. And you would think that maybe the bass coming through, the very heavy bass, would cause it to vibrate. And of course, that's always a possibility, but there was nothing coming through at that particular time. So it's just something I'm going to have to look for when Mikey gets a chance to go through his evidence and everything, and maybe I can, with the COVID stuff, I've been kind of keeping people away from my house, unfortunately, but maybe I can just bring them down here in the basement for a little bit. Both can wear masks or something, and get that cut out so we can look at that a little more clear.
Yeah.
And possibly then I can send it to you, and then you can actually see the video instead of a video of a video, which
sure.
I don't think that really diminishes it at all. It's just better. Obviously, you can have a little bit better quality in the original version.
Sure. Yeah, and I wanted to give Mikey out there credit for that video. He was the one rolling on the video camera and captured that guy, so I give credit to Mikey out there. That was him videoing. He was the one rolling when that was taken. So, and that's good. He always does that because, when you're filming everything, you catch stuff like that. If you're not filming, if you're not recording and stuff happens, then it didn't happen, So that's what I try to tell people. Unless you've got documentation of the stuff you say happened, or video footage, photography, audio, and you say something happened, it didn't happen because you have no documentation and proof of that. And that's why, we'd like to document and record any evidence or anything that we put out there because, I can sit here and tell you this stuff happened all night, just like some stuff that happened at Williamsburg Hill last night. We had a weird, strange occurrence take place that one of our girls doesn't want to even talk about. Happened to one of my team members. And if she decides to talk about it sometime, we will. If not, then we're not going to talk about it. It's still one of those things we didn't get on film, or we didn't get, we didn't photograph. Something just happened last night at one of the locations, our last locations we were at. So, but we're not going to talk about it unless I can get her to come on with me and talk about it. So that may not happen. But yeah,
well, again, too. I mean, it's always the spontaneity of what's going on at any given moment. I mean, you would have to literally be running the cameras 24/7 when you're on a location, from the time you get there to the time you leave, to be able to document possibly every single thing. And that incident that you're talking about, I don't even, if we even had the cameras rolling, I doubt we would have documented, if you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Because of the way it happened. But I was doing a lot of videotaping, especially when I was using the Paratech, and we did get some pretty interesting responses at some of the locations. I'm trying to remember that one location. It might have been the Charlottesville cemetery where Mason Goff is buried, I believe.
Yes. Yep. Uh-huh.
And I was doing a device right there, a Paratech device there. And that seemed to be one of the most active ones, at least for me, until much later when the Fathom box really started to take off. The Obelisk was pretty quiet. The Ghost box for me, my SB11 was pretty quiet. I think you got some stuff with the Sangean that came through.
Right.
But I was recording literally the screen of the Paratech as I was asking questions. So if I got a response, there was a question, then there was a response, and we would have a videotape, which is and we did get some pretty interesting responses. I remember we got, we were asking about people in the cemetery that were related to Mason Goff. And I think at one time we got a name that said Debbie, and then after that it said nephew.
Yes.
And then after that we had another name, kind of an older name. I'm trying to think, it was Joshua, I believe, if memory serves me correctly. And then it came back Joshua, and it came back cousin. But then it actually, what I started to put together was I was watching how the words came through, because for the most part there are a few two-word responses that come through, but for the most part, 90% of the time or more, most often you get just one word. So I like to see if I can put together like kind of a sentence, like one word after another.
Right. And
there was a really kind of a strange one that kind of said, like, Debbie taught, teacher for industry, which to me was just kind of bizarre, kind of crazy. It kind of made sense. We'd have to do a lot of research to figure out if there's actually somebody in there named Debbie that was in the industry, teaching aspect, to see if that was something we were picking up. It still could have been just something random, but we were getting a lot of these actual responses in real time. A lot of it, unfortunately, was kind of garbage. Sometimes it comes through. I get that even with the Obelisk. So it's like anything. I like to always say that it's like a child with a new toy.
Right.
The child's got to learn how to play with a toy before intelligent responses begin to come through. And sometimes at the beginning, you might get a lot of garbage. So if you're using a device like that, or an Obelisk, or another Ghost box, or any other application, just be patient. Sometimes the spirits will eventually learn how the thing works.
Yeah.
And then you start to get some intelligence coming through.
Definitely. Yeah. And we got a thing here. Diana said, did the girls get sick this time? I think she's referring to Ramsey and Casbar Cemetery again, because our last investigation where we went live there, I believe it was there. Yeah, the girls got sick. And that did not happen this time, I don't believe. I'm trying to think. But yeah, nothing like that happened on this occasion with anybody getting sick there. But
no, we had some interactions with people that we're going to wait to let them tell their story on. But I mean, there were some interactions with things that did happen to certain people at certain locations, which I'm not 100% sure, even myself, that it was paranormal either. I mean, it's something we need to look into. But due to some of the circumstances just before that, it kind of just a little crazy.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, that's why the last incident we're referring to at the last cemetery we went to that we got to keep undisclosed. We had an incident happen to one of my female team members, but yeah, whether it's paranormal or not, we can probably never prove that. That's another reason why I don't think she wants to talk about it, because my whole team, we know, it's like, we don't want to get on and give you guys a bunch of bull crap. We don't want to tell you guys like this happened and that happened when it could be explained easily, so it's like, if we get on there and tell you something, it's something that, we're having a hard time explaining. And she really doesn't feel comfortable talking about it because like, she's even not 100% sure what happened to her wasn't caused by a previous incident in the evening or something. So just one of those things we're going to have to get on her if we get her on here and talk about it, if we do ever talk about it. But we like to try to debunk everything and try to find natural explanations for any occurrence, and it's like, it was a strange event.
There was another thing, if I remember correctly, about another one of the female investigators with a piece of equipment, and I won't go into that again. But what I found, kind of interesting in both cases, with the first one we're talking about and the second one that I just brought up, is that what I found interesting is just the reactions of both the females that it happened to. It was obviously, it looked like there was, I don't know if I want to say fear, but I would like to say that they were very surprised when it happened, maybe a bit shocked that it happened. And I think in one case, one person didn't even want to use a piece of equipment after that. So
yeah,
it was that type of reactions when you get something like that. That it kind of, if you have the gauge of the needle, and the needle in the middle just says, we're not sure, and then one side says paranormal, one side says natural. I mean, that to me swings the needle a little bit more maybe towards the paranormal side, just because of the reactions of the people that had those experiences.
Sure. And I think we can talk about that one, the first incident. I'll go ahead and talk about that. I don't think we have any problem talking about that one. It was the second one I don't want to talk about. But yeah, the one Dale's referring to now, I forgot that even happened until you brought it up, Dale. So thank you. We had two incidents happen. So at this last place we went to, guys, and both of them with two different females in my team. So, but the incident Dale's referring to now, Courtney Bowen was actually holding the mel meter in her hand. I'll go ahead and talk about this just because I know she won't care because, she was holding this mel meter, doing an EMF sweep of the cemetery, and she was holding it completely. Well, we were standing still at that time, weren't we, Dale? We were getting ready to do a session. She was just holding it.
We were just kind of gathered around the center of the cemetery, in the moonlight, which is kind of cool.
We were in the center of the cemetery, just getting ready to do a EVP/ITC session and see if we can communicate with anything. And boom, something knocks the mel meter out of Courtney Bowen's hand, and it makes a loud thump on the ground. And she was scared to death. Like Dale said, the look on her face when that happened. I mean, her eyes got big. She said something hit it out of her hand.
Then she backed up. I saw her backing up, and she said, "I don't even want to use that device anymore." And then I think he handed it to somebody else.
Yeah, I actually handed it to Allison after that because, Courtney Bowen didn't want to use the meter anymore after that happened, which shows a legitimate response, a fear response to what she experienced. So, that makes it even more real. Like Dale says, it's the reactions of the people these things happen to that you can kind of tell if they're lying or if they just dropped it or something like that, or something legitimately happened. And she just the look on her face, like, what the heck just happened? And I asked her too, I said, did you have a good grip on it? And she said, well, she was holding it in her hand. How did she refer to it? She didn't have her thumb over it, I think, but she did have it in her hand, in her palm, pretty good and secure. Isn't that what she said, Dale?
Yeah, I think she said that she was just kind of holding it kind of loosely, like in the palm of her hands, and that she didn't have her thumb kind of wrapped around it. But she said that she she was perfect. You see, that's the thing. She wasn't moving. So if she would have been moving, I could see, well, maybe she dipped her hand a little bit, or maybe she got the cemetery was very, very unlevel, so you could have stepped in a little hole or something, and then all of a sudden the meter could have fell out of your hand. But she was standing perfectly still when that took place, and pretty much it just like, I mean, I didn't see it, I heard it, and then I saw her reaction backing up right away. And so I figured that maybe something happened that needed some explanation. But, I mean, I don't think she was even trying to initially possibly portray it as paranormal. She just said she didn't know.
Right.
She just said it kind of felt like maybe something, knocked it out of her hand. But she said, in hindsight, that she said it could have just fell out of my hand. So again, that's something that's kind of questionable. But again, going back to what you said, Jason, it's just a reaction.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it would have just fell out of your hand, I don't think you would have had that kind of a reaction.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like you say, you definitely have to look at the reactions of people, that experience this stuff. But it's like, I wish it would have happened to me. Like we talked about the other incident, and the other incident.
And
was,
remember, I said, I just be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. Yeah, because the other incident that happened was a little worse than what we're talking about here. We're not going to talk about, but yeah, I told Dale later on that I wish it could have happened to me because I want to experience something like that. But like, it's like, until I experience something like that myself, I'm not going to believe it. I'm a skeptic when it comes to some of this stuff. And I'm not a big believer in all this movie crap, and stuff where people say this stuff's happening. And like, I've been all over the place trying to get weird stuff to happen to me. And I it usually doesn't. So it's like, but this event that took place, it's like I told Dale, I was like, man, I wish it was me. And he made the comment, like he just said, be careful what you wish for. But until it does, though, I mean, I'm still going to be skeptical. It's like some people probably don't want things to happen to them. But I'm one of those people that like I want to experience something if it's out there, just so I can say that it's real, even in my own mind to try to prove to somebody else it is. And if I don't see or hear it with my own eyes or feel it, I'm always going to question it. It's like.
Yeah, I mean, we had a whole kind of other things that happened there. I mean, I think several times there was something that apparently like lit up the red laser grid on the ground.
Oh yeah.
And several times it actually. I mean, I didn't catch it, unfortunately. I mean, I was always seeing like I had my back turned towards it. I wasn't looking right at it, but. I know you had said it looked like a smaller person perhaps actually lit it up. So what I tried to do at that point was to take my thermal tablet and just kind of face it for that. And I just recorded it for a couple of minutes. Of course, like I said, when you want things to happen, you want things to be recorded. That's usually when it doesn't happen. It's usually that spontaneous thing that happens when you're not expecting it.
Yeah. Hey, Kelly's watching too on here now, but. Yeah, I actually did see that, but again, I had a laser grid set up, a red laser grid set up in the cemetery, and I looked over and I saw the grid light up, vertically light up in probably a 4-foot shape of a person, and it shot through it really quick, moving. And again, I can sit here and tell you guys about this all night, but I didn't have it on video, so. I have no proof. I have no documentation of that. What I seen, I did physically see that with my eyes. I'd forgot about that till Dale said that too. There was a lot of stuff that went on last night, guys. But yeah, I seen like a 4-foot, probably high object shape, light that laser grid up and move through it. And again, we didn't have a video camera on it. And I kept saying all throughout the night, but, or did we, was Mikey recording at that time? Because I told him to move.
I think Mikey might have been recording perhaps in another section of the cemetery. I think he might have brought the camera back over towards the end when we started to see that laser grid light up, because he had brought his own laser grid at the time.
Yeah.
He had to hold his for some reason. It was kind of malfunctioning. And we had a lot of equipment malfunctions again, as usual.
Yeah.
I had a number of my batteries, which were fully charged. And boy, even in some cases, they were door cells, and they were completely brand new, and they were just completely dead when I came out there, and I haven't used them before. So it was kind of crazy. I mean, I know several people said they saw like shadow play, down at the tree line, we heard some strange sounds. I mean, there were coyotes out there, like a pack of coyotes and hoot owls. But besides that, I mean, I actually thought I heard, it sounded like a voice at one time, and pretty much for the most part, we were almost kind of gathered together. I mean, occasionally there might have been somebody who wandered off to set up a piece of equipment and then come back or something. But I think we were pretty much together in the center. And I heard at least one time that I can remember kind of sounded like something, in the woods or something like that. There's some sort of I don't know if you want to call it a growl. I think maybe somebody else caught that besides me when we were there. But it sounded like a growl. It sounded like a gruff voice or something that was very nearby. And we were all pretty quiet at that particular time.
Yeah, and I remember too, last night, Kelly at the last location, she's seen what looked like shadow play. And I thought I seen it too, coming into like a light area of the cemetery. It almost looked like something broke the light, like something moving through there. I mean, it was a pretty weird night. I'm not going to lie. We got some strange stuff.
And very cold. Well, at least for me, it was chilly.
I loved it. I love the cold. I'd rather be cold than hot. But yeah, everybody else was freezing last night. I think Dale had his arms inside his vest last night, didn't you?
Yeah, I should have brought my long sleeve, pullover that I had just to be more comfortable. But yeah, I had to kind of put my arms in my vest to warm up a little bit. But then after that felt better. But that was a very, very remote area, and we did get a visitor come by in a car, which kind of made us scramble a little bit because it is such a remote area, and we never know anybody's intentions that come out to any place that we might be at, because some of the places that you take us to are pretty remote. But it was just somebody, I guess, said he was checking on us, but I think he probably was wanting to get out there himself.
Yeah,
was in the car.
Yeah, I'd say so too. And they didn't have permission to be out there, I guarantee you, because the place is a restricted area, and the car came back this long lane. And the girls were in the van at that time, so I ran back to the van to make sure they were okay, to make sure they were going to be messed with. And they were just like, "What are you guys doing?" They asked if we were broke down or something. I said, "No, we're not broke down." And, I don't know. They looked like they were on something, and they took off. But we have people approach us like that in these remote areas all the time. We got to be extremely careful. So, like you said, if you watch any of our previous live feeds, I mean, we have actually had stuff happen. I mean, as you've seen, even in Gettysburg, when we were by Sachs Bridge, somebody discharged a firearm close to us, which is extremely weird. And Dale wasn't there for that to happen. Luckily, he wasn't there. That's probably a good thing. So I mean, strange stuff happens when we're out, guys. So if you ever see us taking off, it's to protect the other people and everything. So, but Kelly is. Let me see here. Kelly says shadows passing through the moonlight 3 times, but only in my peripheral vision. Can't talk tonight. And Mikey said, once Jason saw something interrupt the red grid, I immediately took my camera over to that area and started filming. So, it was a good night. I mean, definitely.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting. It's one of the most remote areas I think I've ever been in. And we've been to some pretty remote areas. I don't know if we can mention all the other places that we're at, but there was a couple of other places that were pretty remote that we went to, and that are remote. But I mean, this is way out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh yeah,
Literally.
Definitely. And and that's what a lot of our viewers that don't know, that aren't from our area, that don't understand, too, like the places we go to, it's, it may be 30, 35 minutes before an ambulance can get to us. It may be 30, 35 minutes before law enforcement can get to us. So we are our own protection. We are our own, medical response. If something happens, we're the first line if we do get in trouble. It's not like up Dale's way. the cops will be there in like 3 minutes, it seems like. But down our way, that's why we got to be extra cautious and extra careful, guys. If you ever see us do anything like that in our life, just so we're keeping ourselves safe and our team safe, when people approach us like that. So, we just we take extra precautions, definitely. Let's see here. I don't know, when we was up your way, Dale, it seemed like there was a cop on every corner.
Yeah, especially when we're doing German Church Road. It didn't take them long to get out there.
Yeah, I remember that. They were knocking on the van door, seeing what was going on. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, but like I said, a lot of the police officers, even up or in my neck of the woods, so to speak, and it's really not neck of the woods; it's more like neck of the city. Is they're pretty familiar with even though they may not want to talk about the ghost stories or perpetuate the legends, they're pretty familiar with where the teenagers and the youngsters like to go and kind of hang out on a Saturday night or on the weekend, down an old-abandoned road or a spooky cemetery, and they may have some ghost stories. So they're pretty familiar with with the lore and the legends and the ghost stories. So when before we even said anything there, they just ask you guys ghost hunting? So, I mean, it's just the way it is here in the city, and I'm sure probably it's like that up in where you're at. I mean, I haven't dealt with too many police officers. We were going to have a chance to maybe meet one, but then he couldn't come or something. But it's much more remote, and I'm glad that you guys serve as protection out there for me, because
yeah, no problem. Yeah, we like to take care.
I don't think I'd run very fast.
Yeah, we like to take care of everyone when they're with us. Even our haunted tours, we're always like keeping track of stuff and watching what's going on. If somebody goes down, we've had people fall, all kinds of stuff. So we're extremely, we actually have a little training scenarios before our haunted tours, even to go over different situations that happen. What if we have a medical emergency or some type of other thing happen? We go over response to all that. So, I just want you guys to know, when you take our haunted tours, you got with us, you're in good hands. We train and, go over a lot of different scenarios that could take place. So, but we are going to have our haunted tours this year, which is pretty cool, because a lot of stuff is shut down due to the COVID this year for Halloween, and Halloween is going to be on a full moon for 2020. And so we are going to, we're going to continue to have our haunted tours. And just like the normal, we're going to have those. So at least you'll have something to do on Halloween, guys, if you want to come out and take our haunted tours. And I'm kind of going to get into that and announce some of that here in a minute after I get Dale off the line. So I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. But stay tuned, because I got a pretty big announcement for a cool location we're going to be doing. So, but yeah, Dale, I appreciate again you coming down. It's always fun when you and your team comes down, and glad you called in.
I appreciate you showing us around. It's always something I look forward to every year. Got to meet several members of your team that I didn't have a chance to work with before, I don't think, and people I worked with in the past. And
right,
got a great group of people down there. And just on a side note, real quick, it's a little off subject, but on the way back, we were always running into. If you remember, during the course of the weekend, we were running into Abraham Lincoln connections all over the place. In that building we investigated on the first night.
Yes.
I don't know if you gave that information or if you want to give that out or not, but we did that one building. I'll just say building. I'll leave it up to you to fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
And there was a Abraham Lincoln connection there. So on the way back, as I was heading back down towards Chicago, I saw some signs for the Thomas Lincoln homestead down there, which is actually a reproduction of Abraham Lincoln's father's farm down there that was,
cool.
I guess, constructed in 1845. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Yeah,
but, I stopped down there and looked around there a little bit, and actually visited the grave of Thomas Lincoln. I never thought to do an EVP session. I just kind of got out there and just took some pictures out there in the old schoolhouse, that old Shiloh Cemetery, I believe it's called. So.
Yep.
I keep running into Abraham Lincoln all over the place. We ran into him in Gettysburg many times throughout our Gettysburg
he was
trip,
everywhere.
and now this trip here too. So
yeah, he was everywhere, and at least people claim he was everywhere. You know, it seems like you go to a lot of places. Oh, Abraham Lincoln was here. You know, it's like, was he really? You know, you start to wonder.
It used to be George Washington slept here, and now it's Abraham Lincoln's all over.
I know. I noticed that. Like some of these places, I almost question it. You know, it's because like there's a lot of Lincoln connections, but I think he actually did. You know, a lot of the major travel routes were through the the areas we investigate. So I mean, yeah, there's a lot of Lincoln connections here.
Absolutely.
But
well, thanks for bringing me on, Jason. I appreciate it. And
yeah, thanks.
I'm just recuperating a little bit here.
Same.
I'm tired myself from that trip. We got back pretty late both nights, so I was still able to get some sleep and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed for the next day, where I was able to make a couple of stops along the way that I wanted to see.
Awesome.
So
did you get your break,
we'll
by the way?
Again 1 year, and then, like I say, if you guys come up to Chicago, I can plan some stuff with you, and I'll start looking into some of the things we talked about when we were down there over the weekend, about maybe some nighttime investigations of some locations, and get back to you with some of the numbers and so forth.
Okay, sounds good. Did Dickerson get that brick to you, by the way?
Well, that was the thing. He was supposed to drop it off near my car, but I already had left by the time I got out of there, and he was supposed to text Mikey, and he was going to drop it off by Mikey's car or something like that. So I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'll have to talk to Mikey about that. But
sounds good. So
if not, I'll get it next time. Just hold on to it.
Yeah, we'll keep it safe
next time or whatever. Not a big hurry. I got to make room for all my bricks anyway.
Yeah, we'll keep it safe for you.
Sounds good.
All right, Dale. Well, I'm going to get off here and make an announcement for our haunted tours. It kind of was what you were talking about, and I appreciate you being on again, Dale, and be safe out there, and I'll talk to you on the next one.
Okay, you too. Thanks a lot.
Yeah,
bye.
See ya. All right, guys, that was Dale Kazmarek from the Ghost Research Society. He was with us all weekend doing investigations with him and his team. Mikey was with us, Kelly, really great people. You can visit Dale's site at ghostresearch.org. Check out his webpage and everything. But Mikey said, I have the brick. I'll bring it to your place. Dale Dickerson left it with me. Thanks, Mikey. The viewers probably have no idea what we're talking about, and we're probably not going to tell them. So these are some things we don't tell. But anyway, thanks everybody for watching. Stay tuned because I'm going to announce here in a second. Once I get this stuff up, let me find a picture. We're going to talk about some of our events that's going to take place in September and October in the upcoming months. And let me get my calendar brought up here so I don't get the wrong dates for this. Okay, so like I said, we are going to have our haunted tours this year, and they're going to be really cool. We're going to do a lot of stuff that's still left to be announced. We may even be doing some haunted events at very famous haunted locations in the area, outside of our area, not in Crawford County. We may be doing helping with some famous locations and helping with their haunted tours and haunted overnights. So that's yet to be announced. But one of the things we do have set up that we can announce right now, I'm going to throw a picture up here, hopefully, if I can find one of what I'm talking about, where I'm talking about. Bear with me here. Okay, what I'm talking about, I'll throw this picture up here. It was up there. It'll come back, I promise. Okay, this is one of the locations that we are going to have a haunted tour at this year, actually a haunted overnight. Now, this is the Masonic Lodge in Lawrenceville. It is called the Edward Dobbins Masonic Lodge number 164, and we can't officially announce this because this is one of the locations we investigated Friday night. We got there at 8 p.m. We done another investigation there. And if you go back through our live feeds, we have done a live feed at this location we wanted to go without the live feed this time, just to see if we could pick up any different activity without all the lights and stuff going on. So that's where we were at Friday night with Dan and his team, and I was talking with the lodge secretary and the worshipful master of the lodge, and we worked out a deal. We are going to be doing a haunted overnight at this location on 3 different nights for you guys for the open to the public. So that's going to be pretty cool. Let me get the dates for you guys. So the dates for this, if you guys want to get a pen and paper, which I'm going to be announcing this fully on our Facebook page, on our website and everything too. I'm going to be putting out all these dates, but you're hearing it first right here on our live talk show. That's a cool thing about our live talk show. You guys get up-to-date information really quick compared to me putting it out on the page. It takes me forever. But anyway, September 19th. I mean, we're getting started early here, guys, for the Halloween season. So September 19th, we're going to have a haunted overnight at the Edward Dobbins Masonic Lodge here in Lawrenceville, Illinois. And that is the picture we're showing right now. It will be limited to 30 people, and it's going to be $30 a ticket to do the haunted overnight. And that money is all going to go back to the Masonic Lodge for restoration of the lodge or whatever the lodge needs it. We are not keeping a penny of this money, guys. This is all being donated back to the lodge for help with restoration of this historic building. This is the oldest building in Lawrence County, and it used to be a church before it was a Masonic Lodge. This is a pre-Civil War church that has connections to Abraham Lincoln, and that's what Dale was referring to there. Abraham Lincoln attended church here. I'm not going to tell you all the stories and all the history because I want you to come to our haunted tour. I want you guys to see this place. But there's a lot of paranormal activity that takes place there, and there's a lot of cool history, including connections to the Underground Railroad. So, you got Lincoln, you got the Underground Railroad, pre-Civil War church, a Masonic Lodge, just a lot of stuff going on here. So definitely, guys, get a hold of us. If you're watching this live feed, we only have 30 spots per night. We're doing 3 nights of these haunted overnights. We're doing September the 19th. That's our first one. We're limited to 30 people a night at $30 a person for a ticket. Again, all that money goes back to the lodge. That's why we're trying to raise this money. And they do accept donations too. The 26th of September is going to be the next one after that. So we've got the 19th, the 26th of September, and then October the 10th, we are also going to do a haunted overnight at the Lawrenceville Masonic Lodge. So definitely get with us because I think this is going to fill up fast. We're going to advertise this on paranormal websites. We're going to advertise it, through the Masonic lodges. Again, 30 people is limited and $30 a person. So definitely get with us quick on this, guys. October the 10th is the October date for that. And it's going to start at 7:30 p.m. and it's going to last till 4 a.m. in the morning. And if we get a lot of activity, we may stay until 5 a.m. Just depends. It's set to last from 7:30 to 4 a.m. is the time frame that we're going to be in there. And like I say, it's really cool. We're going to be in there all night. We're going to have our equipment set up. You guys are going to get to see our command. You guys are welcome to set at the command. I mean, you're basically investigating this place with us. You're going to be there. We're going to set everything up. You can use our equipment to try to find stuff. It's going to be really fun, really cool. Just bring your own snacks. We're going to have water and chips, some basic stuff. But if you want to bring food or anything like that, you can. You can also leave at any point during the night. If you decide that you want to leave during the course of the night, you don't want to stay, you're getting tired, definitely get a hold of us. On this, because you can leave at any point. Reading your comments at the same time here, guys. But yeah, I'm reading. Kelly said, I'm coming back. Jen says, I want to go on all of them and Doit. So I think we're going to have a big, interest in this. So that's going to be our haunted overnight for this year. Again, the 19th, the 26th, the 10th of October. Get with us. This is a clock inside the lodge. I will show you this, guys. This clock has a problem with opening up by itself. And we witnessed this on one of our first investigations there. The clock face opened up. and was just open. That's one of the things they report in there. So it's going to be really cool. Yeah, gin, coffee's available. But that's going to be that. And our haunted tours, again, we are going to have in the month of October, we're going to have a public event of some type every weekend in October. Every Friday and Saturday night in October, we are going to have a public event to where we are going to either be doing haunted tours. We're going to be helping with, I'm not going to announce this yet. We're going to get close to October, but we may have to split up. I may be somewhere else. Dickerson may be doing the haunted tours here in Crawford County, but we are also going to be helping with a public event at a very famous location, a couple very famous locations. So we'll get back with you on that. We're going to be here doing the tours in Crawford County. If I'm not doing them, Dickerson will be doing them this year, just depending on where I end up and what location they put me at. So we got a lot of cool stuff coming up in October, a lot of stuff people have asked us to do, and we're stretched thin. I mean, we got, 4 of us that do a lot, so we're all going to be spread out at different locations, I believe, doing these haunted tours and different stuff. So, and you guys will be able to pick, where you want to go and what you want to do. So just look forward to that in October, guys. But that's my big announcement for the night. We got the Masonic Lodge overnight set up, and definitely get with us if you're interested in that. If any viewers out there watching and want to spend the night in a haunted Masonic Lodge that has connections to Abraham Lincoln and the Underground Railroad, it's going to be cool. So I'm going to answer some of your questions real quick. We got about 10 minutes left before the 10 o'clock mark. I'm going to call it quits around that. But if you guys have any questions real quick, throw them out there, and I'll try to answer them before the end of the show. Diana says, do you have to learn the shaky leg on the tours? Yes, the shaky leg will be taught by Jason Dickerson on the tours. If you guys want to come learn the shaky leg dance, I don't know, that's a joke that started back in Gettysburg. We were on one of the bridges, and Dickerson did this little dance. If you guys didn't see that, you might want to go watch it. It's pretty funny. That's what she's referring to. That's pretty funny. But yeah, good night, everyone watching. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Everybody that watches night in and night out, you guys are awesome. So we got Jen and Diana, Kelly, Barb, Laura, Jennifer Doy, Karen Cat. She's always on here. Just thanks everybody. We got a lot of people that watch this stuff. So I think we're going to call it quits, guys, if there's no other questions. So yeah, thank you, Mikey. We had a good weekend. Kelly and Mikey, if you're still out there watching, and Dale, had an awesome time with you guys this weekend, and we look forward to coming back up to the Chicagoland area and, do some more investigations at Bachelor's Grove. It's going to be pretty neat. So, all right, guys, have a good evening out there. I'd like to thank everybody for watching, and we will be going live probably again next weekend. We've got so many investigations, guys. It's crazy. We've got house investigations. We've got just crazy places we're going to be investigating. So we will be going live a lot. Just keep watching the page, and we'll keep you all updated. So good night, everyone, and we will see you on the next one.